Stampers, Kim from stampingimperfection.com. Welcome to my craft room. I have a project I wanted to share with you today. I've been working on a set of thank you cards. At mystampinstore.com you can get these packages of 20 note cards and envelopes. And they're a little bit smaller than a standard card. They're 5 1/8 by 3 5/6. And they really are cute little cards. So I decided I need to make I need to make myself a set of thank you cards to keep in my desk drawer at work. So I just came up with 4 designs and I made 5 of each. So I have this one. This is my favorite. I have this one. I love that one too. Both of these came from the Perfectly Wrapped stamp set. I didn't really think much of this stamp set until I got it and started playing with it, and I feel like, wow, it really made some cute things. And then I made this one and this one. I was playing around with the layered oval framelits, and both of these came from Endless Thanks. The flower and the leaf came from Endless Thanks, and then I used One Big Meaning and Thankful Thoughts for this one right here. And these two were made with Mint Macaron, Sahara Sand, and Peekaboo Peach. These were made with Blushing Bride, Mint Macaron, and Sahara Sand. And I really like that combination. And one of the reasons I like that combination is because we have the Blushing Bride satin ribbon, and we have the Blushing Bride baker's twine, solid baker's twine, and I really liked that combination. And I love to have ribbons to match. The project that I want to share with you today is this right here, and I created it to wrap up a just a chocolate bar. So I wanted to show you how I made that because it was quick and easy to do. So I'm starting out with a piece of, this is Mint Macaron Designer Series paper from the 2015-2017 Designer Series paper stack. And I love the paper stacks. If you only choose one Designer Series paper, pick a paper stack, because you get 5 different colors and you get 4 patterns of each different color, and you just get a ton of paper. And I feel like I don't think I've ever used a whole package up because you get so much. I've cut this at 7 1/4 by 9 inches, and how I came up with that was this candy bar was 6 1/4 inches wide, so I added 1 inch to the width. That'll give me a 1/2 inch on each side to make the little side panels. And then it was 3 inches this way and then a 1/2 inch thick. So 3 inches twice is 6, plus 1/2 plus 1/2 is 7, and then I added 2 inches to give myself a flap. So I cut this at 7 1/4 by 9 inches. Okay, so that's how I came up with the measurements. So your whatever chocolate bar or whatever, this could be a pad. You could make a pad cover and slide something like that in as a quick gift, just a quick thank you gift for someone. That's what this is. The next step is to do some scoring. So I'm going to take it along the 9 inch side and I'm going to slide it over, and I'm going to score it at 3 inches. So I'll score it at 3. Then I'm going to move it over a 1/2 inch and score it at 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to move it over to 6 1/2 inches and score it at 6 1/2. Just like, and I'm going to move it over and score it again at 7 inches. Like that. So when I fold these, you'll start to see where the box shape comes from. So scoring it a 1/2 inch, scoring it at 3, and then 3 1/2 gives me this part right here. And then scoring it at 6 1/2 and then 7 gives me this part right here. And I have a nice 2 inch flap there. Okay. So now along the side, so now I'm going to turn it 7 1/4 inch way, and I'm just going to use on the side. I have to score it a 1/2 inch, so I like to use the measurements on the right hand side of my scoring blade, and I would score at 1/2 inch on each side, just like that. Quick and easy. Okay, so let me just fold these over so you can hopefully see them a little bit. Okay, now on the 3-inch side that's going to form the front, I'm going to take my paper snips and I'm just going to cut this 1/2 inch so I have the flap. Just like that. So I'm going to fold this in like this, like that. And then on the top part, I'm going to cut from, this is the second fold, I'm going to cut all of that off. So I'm just going to cut in at the second score mark there. So I've cut this whole piece off. Do the same thing on the other side, and probably should use my other scissors. Let's see if I can get this a little straighter. There we go. Okay, now I need to add some sticky tape, and I like the tear and tape. So on these two little flaps, this is my outside. The flower pattern is going to be my outside. So on the outside of that, I'm going to just, on the flaps, just stick a little bit of these, like that. And then on this one right here, I'm going to stick on this 1/2 inch flap in the center panel. I'm going to put some tear and tape on that. Okay, and that's that. And then I'm just going to take my bone folder and I'm just going to burnish this a little bit. I find it so much easier to actually get the paper off when I do that. So I'm just going to take the paper off of these little flaps. Okay, so I'm going to take this now. I'm just going to fold it up, and I'm going to fold that up toward the center panel, and I'm just lining everything up, just like that. I'll do the same thing on the other side. And I'll just line it up so the bottoms are even, just like that. So that's going to give me the start of my box. Now I'm going to take off the sticky tape, and I put it on this one because this, since this is going to be the front part, I wanted the flap to go toward the back, like that. So I'm just lining up the bottom and the top. And if you have any that sticks out, occasionally I won't get it lined up quite right. I just trim off whatever's sticking out with my paper snips, just to make sure everything's nice and square and it looks tidy and there aren't pieces hanging off. Just like that. So that's going to complete the box. Now, one other little thing I love to use is I have these Velcro, and I bought, this is a package of 48. I bet I bought these 3 years ago, and I use them quite a bit, but they last forever. Like a package of these does 48 projects, so it's just two-sided Velcro, two-sided sticky Velcro. So I always stick the Velcro piece on my flap, give it a good push, and then I'm going to take the sticky part off the top, like that. And then I'm going to fold it over and just give it a good press. And then I don't open it again. I let that sticky just kind of adhere. Alright, the next thing I did was I took some of this pretty pink Blushing Bride satin ribbon, and I just cut enough so that it overlapped, like this. This is sort of like making a quick and simple belly band. So I'm taking my glue dots, and I'm not going to adhere this to the package, just so the person I'm giving it to can just slide it off when they want to. I'm going to put this glue dot here on one side of the ribbon and attach it down like this, and this way I can move it around too. I'm going to put a second one under there so I have it sticking really well. Now I put the overlap part on the back, just like that. Okay, now I'm going to take my perfectly wrapped stamp set. So I'm using the perfectly wrapped stamp set, and I've got a piece of Whisper White cut at 2 by 8.5. It's just from my scrap folder, it's a 2-inch strip. Okay, and I'm going to use this scallop tag topper punch. So this is a leftover piece of scrap paper. I'm going to slide it in here, punch it out, and I'm going to take my Blushing Bride ink, use the large outline stamp here, and I'm sort of putting it toward the top of the tag. Then I'm going to take Sahara Sand, and I'm using my Thanks and the Sahara Sand, and I'm lining this up. I'm going to try to make it as straight as possible, and I'm lining it up toward the bottom of the flower, just like that. And then I have this row of dots, this little borderette stamp. I really like this. This is quickly becoming one of my favorite stamp sets. And I'm going to center this row of dots right underneath everything that I've stamped, like that. And I'm going to put a second row, and I'm going to line up the second row with the first one, just like that. And I have 2 more steps. I want to take my basic pearls. I'm going to use one of my large pearls because I use the large flower, and I put this large pearl in the center of that flower. And then I'm going to take some of this beautiful, this is new in the annual catalog this year, this is solid baker's twine, and it's not thick. It's really soft. It's nice baker's twine. I'm just going to double it over, and I probably have, I have quite a bit here, 10 inches or so. I'm going to slide it under here, and then I'm going to feed it through. Oops, I want to cut this off. I'm going to take this over to my trimmer, and I'm just going to trim this off. This ended up being about 4 1/4, and then I'm going to use my Project Life corner rounder. I'm just going to slide this here and round the corners. I don't know why I like rounded corners on tags, like that. Now I'll slide this through here, and I'm just going to make a bow. And then my last step will be to trim this off, just like that. Now, you'll want to slide your candy bar in before you get it all done, but if, like me, you just forgot to, I'm just going to put this in. And the first time I open this, I do it ever so carefully so I don't pull the Velcro off. This will just slide right in here. Now it closes up. You can slide the belly band right back on, just like that. There you go. That completes the project. So whether you're making cards, and notice that I also did a little stamping on my envelope. I did that on all the envelopes. So whether you're making cards or a project, this perfectly wrapped stamp set is fantastic. You can shop online at mystampinstore.com, get more ideas at stampingimperfection.com. Give this video a like and share with your friends. Thanks for watching.